Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Precious. In today's video, we're going to be learning how to make an off-shoulder dress with puffy sleeves. Yes, and this is the dress we're going to be making, and it has pockets also. So you can either wear it like this or you can take it down like this. So you can rock it either ways. So this is going to be a very detailed tutorial because I'll be taking you through how to cut it, how to sew it, how to attach your pockets. So if this looks like what you want to see, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. You can leave your comments in the comment section. I'll be there to attend to them. So please keep on watching. Now this is the fabric we're going to be using, and it's a shiny poly fabric. So I have 3 yards here, and let's get started. So from my shoulder line, I'm going to come down by 4 inches and take my half length measurement. So this is going to be an off shoulder dress, so you don't have to take your complete shoulder measurement. So if you want your cleavage to show, you can start from 5 inches, but 4 inches is moderate. Now I'm going to take my zipper measurement. I'm taking 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. I'm going to connect this with a straight line. So for my shoulder measurement, I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2, and I'm going to subtract 1 inch from it. Now from that baseline, we're going to place our tape at 4 inches, and I'll come down by 7.5 to get my armhole curve. So this is the curve where we're going to be attaching our sleeves to. Now I'm taking my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'm going to take my waist circumference also from that zipper allowance line. So I'm going to add 2 inches to this, and ½ inch will be for my dart. Now I'm going to connect this. So this will be all for the drafting of the back. Now for the front, I'm going to place my back on top of the front piece as shown, and I'll remove my zipper allowance from it. So we do not need any zipper allowance for this front, so just take away your zipper allowance, and we're going to be using the back as a pattern to cut out the front. Now for the bottom part of this dress, we're going to be making use of a half circle, and my fabric is on fold into 2. So I'm going to divide my waist circumference by 2, and I'll be adding 3.5 inch to it. So what I'm just doing now is to make a circumference, so my radius is what I'm marking. So when I divided my waist circumference by 2 and I added 3.5 inch, I got 18 inches. So 18 inches is what I marked. So from that place where I made my radius, I got 11 inches. So that is the 11 inches I'm going to be placing to get my waist circumference. So I'm going to be placing it as shown, and I'm going to be marking 11 inches round to get that round waist. So because this is a half cycle, that is why we divided our waist measurement by 2. So we're just going to connect as shown. So this is the radius. Now from that point we marked, I'm going to take away my half length measurement. So after taking away my half length measurement, I'm going to place the tape on where I got my full length measurement. So the half length is the bodice we just marked. So we'll take the inches we got away from it and we'll place it on that line and get our full length measurement. So the length of your dress will determine how much fabric you're going to use. So this is me taking the full length measurement. So make sure what you have is accurate. So after marking, this is what we have. You can see both lines there. So what happened was that after taking my length, my full length, I discovered that the fabric I folded was not enough. So I had to retake my measurement again. And the part where I cleaned was supposed to be my radius, but since it wasn't enough, I had to take a new radius. So the upper one is what we're going to be cutting out. So this is one big flare that we have here. So from this flare, we're going to get our back and our front. You can see how wide it is. So we have everything here, our waist circumference, including allowance. So I'm going to place this like so. I'm going to fold it into 4 as shown. And we're going to be splitting this up to get our back and front. So we're going to be doing this from the middle. Do not do it from where you have the opening at the sides. Cut it out from the middle. So when we cut this out from the middle, we're going to have 4 pieces. So this 2 parts is our back piece. And this other one is our front piece. So from that waist circumference, we got 4 pieces. So this is it. Now for my sleeve, my fabric is already on fold. I'm using the remaining part of my fabric to do this. I used 3 inches to make 3 yards to make this dress. So if you want something bigger or you're in the bigger side, you can use 4 inches. You can use 4 yards. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so sorry. So 4 yards will be enough. So the width of my sleeve is 22 inches and the length is 17 inches. So I'm going to be taking 17 inches for the length of my sleeve, and that is including the elastic casing. So when we take away 2 inches from the top and the bottom, we're going to get our elastic casing. So if you want this to be big, make sure the length of your sleeve is long enough. So I'm marking 17 inches because obviously that's what I have left, as you can see. So I'm just making use of what I have. So if you have a bigger piece, you can use that. So this is one long piece. I'm just going to cut this out, making sure everything is even. So we have a long piece here for this sleeve. Now I'm going to split this from the middle so we can get 2 pieces of our sleeves. So we have 2 long pieces here. Now I'm going to fold this again, and I'm going to be placing my bodies on the end part of this sleeve. So place your bodies as shown, and I'm going to come down by 1 inch because I'm going to be adding elastic to this. So the 1 inch is for my elastic casing. So after coming down by 1 inch, just make a curve as shown, and we're going to be cutting that out. Now I went ahead to cut out facing for my back and front piece as shown. What I'm doing now is to come up from my center front by 1 inch, and I'm going to be making a slant. This is optional. If you do not want to do this, you can just leave it the way it is, but I just want it to have this kind of curve at the front, though it's not going to be that visible, but I just want to place it. So if you do not want to do this, you can skip this part. So after cutting it, you can see it's no longer straight. So I'm going to place my facing right side to my back piece. And we'll be taking this to our sewing machine, and we're going to sew on it. Now after sewing, I went ahead to top stitch as well. So just sew and top stitch so that the facing doesn't pop up at the dress when you wear it at the upper part. So I did it for both the back and the front. Now I'm going to place the back aside and make my bodies unfold. So making sure it's equal, I'm going to notch the middle. Now I'm going to be taking my dart. So this is how you take your dart. If you do not know how, divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2, and what you have, place it on your bodies as shown. So I'm going to mark that my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2, that's 4 inches. So I'm going to take 5.5 as my length, the length of my dart. So I'm going to be connecting from that point to the length of my dart. So you don't need to add any allowance to this dart, just mark it as shown. So making sure I have the same length for both sides, I'm going to measure it, and I'll get the length of what I want. Now I'm going to fold it like this and place it on my sewing machine and run a straight stitch on it. And when sewing your dart, don't forget to back stitch so it doesn't get loosed. So this is what I have after sewing, and this is the wrong side. So for the back, I'm going to do the same thing for the back. The only difference is you're going to take away your zipper allowance and take your nipple to nipple measurement. So I just marked it and I'll be stitching it as well. So this is one part of the back, and this is that nicely and neatly fixed. So I did it for the other part as well. Now we're going to place this back aside and we're going to take our front pieces. We already notched the middle of our front piece. We'll be taking our flare, the bottom part of our dress, and I'm going to notch the middle. Now I'm going to place these right sides facing to each other, making sure the midpoints are facing each other as shown. So I'm going to be sewing from one end to the other end. And if you're using a stretchy fabric, do not stretch your fabric. So if what you have isn't equal, that means you made a mistake while cutting. So do not stretch your fabric. It makes your work rough. So here I'm stitching, and after stitching, what I had was equal. So this is the front. So this is the back part of my flare where I will be attaching my zip to. So I'm just stitching it and I'm leaving small allowance to attach my bodies and also my zip. So I'm going to be attaching the back part of these bodies to the flare. So after fixing that, this is my sleeve and this is the curve we have for the armhole. So now I'm going to use 1 inch to fold my elastic casing. Remember we took away 1 inch where we're cutting this part, so that 1 inch is what I'm using to fold my elastic casing. I'll be doing it for the both sleeves. So I'm just going to fold it with 1 inch so our elastic can go through, and we'll be using a tiny elastic for this. So I'm just fixing my elastic on that elastic casing we made. Don't forget, we're going to be adding elastic to the bottom part of this sleeve as well. So when fixing your elastic, you can just pin it down so it doesn't move. So this is what I have after fixing my elastic to it. Now you can stretch it to any point so you can attach it to your bodies. So this is the down part of my sleeve. I'm still going to use 1 inch to fold it. So do not forget to add allowance to your sleeve while cutting, because when you take out 2 inches for the elastic casing, it's going to be small. So I'm just stitching the elastic down so it doesn't fall inside. So after adding elastic to the bottom part and the upper part, this is what my sleeve looks like. Now this is the sleeve, the both pieces. So these are the bodies. This is what we have been sewing. And these are my pockets. I didn't realize that my camera stopped recording while I was cutting this pocket, but I'm still going to explain to you how I did this. It's very easy. So the depth of my pocket is 10 inches. The depth is 10 inches and the wideness, the width is 9 inches. So from that part, I have 7 inches. So when you get to that part, you can just make a slant. So depending on how deep you want your pocket to be, if you want it to be 8 inches, make it 8 inches. So from the part where I have the flare from my bodice, I'm just coming down by 1 inch. And that will be the point where we're going to be attaching our pocket. So we're going to start to attach our pocket from that 1 inch point. So from the other side as well, I'm still going to come down by 1 inch. So we're going to place our pockets on that part, right sides facing to each other. And I'm just going to mark that point. So that's the point we're going to be sewing. I'll mark it and we'll be marking the other part of the pocket. So I'm taking the other pocket and I'm going to place it on that 1 inch mark we came down by, and I'll mark the end of the pocket. So we're still going to be doing this for the back piece. So this is the back piece. I came down by 1 inch and we'll take our pocket. After attaching into this part, we take it to the upper part and we're going to stitch it down. So after doing this, we're going to be taking this to our sewing machine and I'll be attaching the pocket to the flare part of this dress. Now this is me stitching the pocket to that 1 inch mark we came down by. You can see the space. So I'm just going to attach this pocket to both sides of my dress. So this is the other part of the front piece. Right sides facing each other, we're going to attach this pocket. You have to attach it right sides facing because you don't want the wrong side of your fabric to be showing at that point where we have the pocket. So we have attached it to the front piece, to the both sides of the front piece. So now I'm going to take my back piece on top of it, right sides facing, and we're going to attach the other side of the pocket to it. So attaching this pocket is very easy. I'm just going to close up that zipper allowance. So that 1 inch we came down by from the side, we're still going to use it to attach the pocket. So after attaching the pocket, we're going to be closing our bodies. So making sure that the waists are equal to each other, I'm going to arrange this. So I'll arrange the shoulders to each other, arrange the facing to the armhole, making sure everything is nice and neat. From the midpoint, I'm going to take my bust circumference. So since this is on fold, we'll be dividing it into two. So I'm taking it from the mid part, the midpoint where I have my where I notched. So I'm going to divide my waist circumference and I'll place it there. So making sure my waist is equal. Now we're going to be stitching this pocket. So from that waist, we're going to come down. We're still going to stitch on it as shown, and I'm going to make sure my pocket is equal to each other. So this is me trying to arrange this, and I'm going to sew on it, and when it gets to that part where my pocket is, I'm going to be slanting my dress as shown. So we'll slant it like this, and we're going to sew all through the pocket to the end of the dress. So when you slant it like this, just come out from the pocket like this and continue sewing. So this is how you attach your pocket. This is how you sew it to your dress to get that neat finishing. So after attaching this, I'm going to show you how it looks like, and you can hardly tell if there's any pocket on this dress. So from that point, I'm just going to make a slant, and the excess we're going to be trimming it off. So we're just going to make a slant, and when we get to the end of the pocket, we're going to stop, make a back stitch, and I'll straighten my dress as shown. So this is it. So this is how you can sew this pocket to get a neat finishing. So this is what the pocket looks like. You can see it is very neat, and you can hardly tell if there's a pocket on this dress except you dip your hands on it. So you can hide all your money there. So I'm just doing the same thing I did for the other side. I'm just doing it for the other pocket as well. So if you're new to this channel, please support this channel by subscribing. Subscribing to this channel is absolutely free, and it helps the channel grow. So when you subscribe, it gives me that kind of motivation to post DIYs such as this. So if you like what I did with this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend my video to other viewers. So now I'm attaching my sleeve to the armhole. So you're just going to take one part of the curve where you have on your sleeve and attach it to your bodice. So you attach it on one part, take it right side facing to the other part, and sew on it. So this is how easy it is to make this dress. I hope you recreate this, and if you're able to recreate this dress, please, you can send me a picture of you wearing this dress on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at done by precious fashionista, so you can just send me the picture and I'll post it on my YouTube page. So I'm just sewing the sleeve. I'm attaching it to the bodies of the dress. Now I'm going to attach my zipper, and after doing that, this is me wearing this dress. I'm so rocking this dress. So this is my pocket. I'm dipping my hands into that empty pocket. So thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Do have a nice day. Bye.